That's up to the individual. I don't know about it. You never know.
You're almost losing Bob there.
Yeah,
Oh my, don't lose me.
we got him.
It's okay, you don't have to worry.
I don't need to be on it, you guys just need to be on it.
No, he's trying to get them on there, so you're on there too.
Yeah,
The speaker's gonna be on there too. They're killing us. All right. Are you calling this in order?
I will. Okay, it's 5:30. We're going to call the Town of Fort Branch council meeting for February the 19th, 2026 in order. Roll call. Scotty DeLong, president. Sandra BIRCH.
Present.
Bob Reinhardt.
Here.
Stacey ELPERS.
Here.
Sandra HICKS.
Here.
Okay, we could all stand. I
I
pledge
pledge
allegiance
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is being recorded. Anyone who speaks is given permission to be recorded and posted to our YouTube channel and the town website. Virtual participation is not monitored, so you can virtually watch the meeting, but if you need or want to speak, you must be here in person. First thing is the minutes from last time. Can I get a motion in a second?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Claims docket from January to February 13th, $397,021.82.
Make a motion to approve.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Fund report balances, approval of January 26th fund report of $5,556,169.61. Can I get a motion in a second?
I'll make a motion we approve it.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Sewer adjustments. I don't know if you guys had a chance to review the sewer adjustment form for $442.64. It looks like it's all from the same individual. I'll make a motion that we approve the sewer adjustments.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I think they're just like this.
Yeah.
No,
They're
it is,
just-
yeah.
January B2 adjustment report, $981.
I want to explain that,
Yeah, go ahead.
version 2.
B2.
It's because we moved our meeting back again. So, that's how we did them before, like in February, you would approve January's. In March, you would approve anything that was made in February. So we made a bunch of those whenever we had those billing errors. Remember, it was like $13,000 we had to go back and adjust.
Yeah.
That's just the final few that we did in January. And so then I'll
Like the
submit,
stragglers.
I will submit the February one, or the February ones in March.
Okay.
And we'll go back to the way we were doing it before.
All right, I'll make a motion that we accept the billing adjustments.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The community tried to indicate they had something they wanted to talk about.
And she told me she didn't have anything, so
Okay.
she'll be back next month.
Oops, I kind of skipped over, nothing new for the water, yeah. Unfinished business,
We have,
the
what about citizens' concerns?
citizens' concerns, you got anything, citizen? Nothing from citizen, Larry?
If anybody has any question, there's always a bunch of people asking what's going on with the dip. And if you need anything explained, I'm available.
I did see at the redevelopment commission, they decided to table it for a month.
Yes, till March.
March 9th at 6 o'clock.
March the 9th, 6 o'clock, they'll go at it again.
And, I'm Larry Nickel, I'm on the Gibson County Redevelopment Commission, and I just put myself available if anybody's got any questions. There was a public hearing on February the 9th, and there was probably close to 100 taxpayers there, and a good presentation. And the redevelopment commission decided to postpone the vote and discussion until the March 9th meeting. It's always the second Tuesday, always the second Monday of the month, and this will be the March 9th meeting at 6 o'clock. It should be open, it'll be an open door meeting, and there should be a ability to make public comment. But the more people deserve to find out what's going on, educate yourself and to give the comments, the better. And so I'm just putting that out there. And if you want to make written comments, according to the public notice, you're supposed to send written comments to the secretary of the commission of the Department of Redevelopment. Now, if you figured out that riddle, you can send it to that place, and I don't know where what the address is. But if you want to make a comment, I'll see that they get it. If you want to email me at LARRY, D is in Donald, MICHEL @gmail.com. And I'll forward it to the rest of the board, or try to find whatever that secretary of the commission of the Department of Redevelopment is. I've never heard of it, but you can send your comments there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Where's the meeting held?
It is at 107 South Hart Street. It's the old Clarion Building on the southwest corner of the square.
I just wanted to make sure that was on the record. Thank you.
And I would appreciate, to thank the whole board, but like, no comments from the taxpayers to help us decide, because that's a big decision to decide something for the next 25 years. What we're trying to decide is whether we want to give Toyota a new TIF district. According to the resolution, it is 100% capture for the next 25 years. And so we can either amend it or vote yes on it or vote no on it. So we got that big decision to make, and that's a big decision for 5 volunteers to air the point of people.
One bright spot from that meeting that I did notice is that the newly established fire territories in the state of Indiana are exempt from the capture of TIF districts. So that was something positive. A small bright spot, if you ask me, but
basically it ties up. If you don't know what you're going to be getting, how are you going to budget for the school, for anybody? Everything's left up in the air. They can amend. A footprint is supposed to be the original footprint, as what the what the Topa Union Township, the TIF district was, and it's going to be named the Toyota TIF district. Supposed to have the same TIF district. The redevelopment board can make an amendment to this resolution and get it approved by the commissioners and do whatever they want to. They can expand it to, however big they want it. And it says in the resolution, I've got copies of the resolution, it's to pay for acquired property and improvements and clearing and drainage and the basic, whatever we want to. It states that in the resolution. And I don't want to make any comments for or against. I can sit real mind.
Right.
When you talk about 100% capture, what exactly does that mean?
Okay, what that means is like when Toyota moved here, it was agricultural land. So that base tax cumulative value, it went through underneath the TIF, it didn't enter into the TIF calculations. Whatever Toyota built and added, it got captured at 100% for the first several years. And also they got pretty good tax abatement. Okay, now, so probably 80 to 90% of improvements was in Kentucky Township. And Union Township basically had a daycare center. And so there's going to be very little that's not going to go in underneath as the original base. Even the new battery plant, the way I understand it, is going to be captured. Even though it's already built, it will be captured. And it'll be up to the redevelopment commission if they want to give some pass-through or anything like that, but you ain't going to know that. According to the resolution as it stands right now, 100% of it is going to be captured for 25 years. And that's all we know. We don't know what the project is, we don't know how much it is, or anything else. To answer your question, Bob, what's going to be captured is all the improvements except for the daycare center. Daycare center, that may be a little bit of something else. And what was in agriculture 30 years ago will be passed through to the entities. Everything else will be captured or passed through or something. It will go through the TIF funds.
Allow me to simplify that a little bit. So they draw a map, and as the assessed values go up over the years, incrementally, and improvements, as those things are taxed, that 100% of that is captured. You're locked in at the old rate as if nothing is even there for 25 years, right? So you don't get the benefit of that additional revenue from the increase in assessed values and improvements. Now, they could set and say, we're going to pass through 80% of that and 50% of that, and then that would pass through just like it normally would as revenue. But when it's 100% capture, everything within the map, right, it goes into the TIF. Like think of it as a big savings account that they can write checks off of.
Well, I heard him talking a lot at that meeting about, well, they're complaining that a lot of people that work there don't live here in Gibson County. We ain't got room on our sewer plant to add anybody in Gibson County. So if they don't give us the money to help get that done, especially the fire territory, if you think you're gonna put a fire pal out there with battery plant with volunteer fire department, you're making your dream.
Does it really have its own fire protection now?
They're supposed to have their own fire protection. In fact, they're building a fire station at the plant. That sewer isn't coming here. It's going to Princeton. And I don't think that Princeton needs to pay for it either, but in other words, the way I understand it, and I might be wrong, Toyota has already given Princeton, the city of Princeton, $3 million to start our sewage treatment plant improvements or remodeling or something. Just like they gave Gibson County a grant for $1.9 million, and if they farm a TIF district, then they want their money back. I never heard of a grant like that before, but,
Let me ask you a question, Larry. Do you know, maybe you don't know, but have the decision makers in Gibson County, have the decision makers for Gibson County, like the redevelopment commission, the county commissioners, have they done any research into what the Scott County decision makers in Kentucky did with the Toyota that was built there? Because Princeton, Indiana, and Georgetown, Kentucky were very similar when Toyota announced they were going to build there. Now, Kentucky's 10 years bit longer than Indiana, but the city of Georgetown, Kentucky is very different from Princeton, even 10 years ago. Like Georgetown has grown. It's a very, very nice little town. People want to go there and live there. It's very safe. Princeton hasn't had that type of growth, and I'm just wondering if there's been any attempt to see what do they do. I mean, are they still capturing TIF district money in Kentucky like we are here?
I did a little research on that, and
You did.
in the state I did, but I don't know that anyone on the redevelopment commission does. And no offense to Larry, but I'm not sure any of them use the internet. But in Kentucky, Kentucky gets a promise from Toyota for employment, like a number of employees. And periodically, I don't know what that interval is, they just write to the state writes Toyota a check if they meet that, if they hold that number of jobs. But the local units get the tax money. It's taxed and the local units get it. The state just takes care of keeping Toyota happy by writing them that check. So the state kind of takes the onus off the local units and lets the local units get money and grow. It's kind of it's probably way more complicated than I'm making it sound, but it is a smart strategy in terms of allowing the growth to happen locally, and letting the state take care of getting Toyota the door money. So
We're gonna help grow, we're not gonna be able to house people or anything. I mean, they're wanting to bring, what, 3,000 people in here?
but however, to Sandra's point, however they're doing it, all you gotta do is drive through Princeton and then go drive through Georgetown, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out who did it right and who did it wrong.
to answer your question, Sandy, I don't think anybody from here has investigated it in 30 years. But there was a group 30 years ago that went down and looked at it before Toyota came in. And I know a few people that did that. But there's been no that's my problem is there's been no communication with anything at this whole new start of the redevelopment commission starting a new TIF district for Toyota. But there hasn't even been a project announced on what they're going to do. There is nothing out there that says how much this is going to amount to, other than Baker Kelly's illustration of $25 million for Union Township and $25 million for Patoka Township, which is so far out of skelter. It's a joke. There was no discussion in redevelopment, open door or closed door or anything that I know anything about. There was no motion made or discussion that you can start this. All of a sudden, it just appeared, and we was paying Baker Tilly and Ice Miller thousands and thousands of
They would
dollars.
interject real quick, and with Baker Tilly and Ice Miller, the numbers that they worked on, they don't really know how much Toyota needs to bond. The lawyer from Washington was pointing out, so you guys really don't know what this project's gonna cost? And they were like, no, we don't know. These are just, a good example, a good guess.
Tell the public how to get on the website, go on, watch the film. It's on, what is it, Gibson?
It's
Town?
YouTube. It's on YouTube. You search Gibson County Redevelopment Commission on YouTube. It takes you right to it.
That'd be good for public to know. But that's what actually is most. I've asked for discussion, and the comment I got was that that's the purpose of the public hearing. And the vote that we made on January the 12th, it was only to give the attorney the power to ask for a public hearing. That's the only purpose of a 14-page, that's the only thing that it was presented to us to vote yes, to vote on, was to have a public hearing on this, this 14-page document that is the most important document. I think it's the most important document from Gibson County in the last 30 years. And it went to the county commissioners for approval under the understanding, and it was announced. The only purpose of this document was to establish a footprint, and it'd be the same footprint as the original one. Well, it was to prove the document that we didn't know anything about in the first place. They put it in front of us 5 minutes before we were supposed to vote on it, and absolutely no discussion on a 30-year project, something similar to a 30-year project that amounted to a capture of $200 million. It's a big deal, people.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I know.
It should be discussed and discussed.
Baker Tilly, working with projected numbers, kept making the point that, you know, they understand that some citizens don't want the TIF, or they want some sort of pass-through. And they kept making the point, well, there's a 4% levy, you can only get so much additional revenue for your tax units.
It's always been that way.
But it will apply downward pressure to the tax rate. So that downward pressure is Swahili for it will lower your taxes. With no TIF, or in some degree, larger degree of pass-through, it will lower taxes. And how the South Gibson School Board is not hasn't come out to support the lower tax rate. You know, the way they fund their projects is through general obligation bonds. And if the tax rate comes down, it makes it easier for them to get general obligation bonds and not put stress on the community from a tax rate perspective and be able to pay it off faster. Why would they not? That's the only way they can run our project. So if you know, I can't imagine, I can't even fathom the Gibson County or the South Gibson School Board not just jumping up and down being opposed to this thing. But everyone is sitting there quiet, and I don't understand.
The Gibson County School Board, Gibson County Council, and the Gibson County School Board, and about everybody else has not received a notice about the public hearing or anything about. They have not received, as of a week ago, they had not received a copy of the amendments that had been passed. And people have been calling me and asking me what's going on. And so all I can do.
Well, it seems like it's just been a real rush job to get this through. And anytime public government or public officials rush something, it really makes the public suspicious. Maybe there's reason, maybe there's not. Maybe everything's totally on the up and up. But when you display such a desire to push something through so quickly with the proper due diligence and public notifications, it looks bad. If you're on that commission or if you're a county commissioner, somebody should say, hey guys, at a minimum, let's just pump the brakes, take a second look at that, and thank God enough people showed up at the meeting and put enough doubt into everybody's mind to say, hey, well, let's just step back, take a breath here, figure out why we're in such a big hurry, and do the appropriate due diligence on this thing. So
there was approximately 100 people at the meeting, at the public hearing, and as far as I know, it was 100%. It was 100% against the formation of the petitioners.
Well, and I thought And she may have got this from some of the things I said, but the Patoka Township trustee made an excellent point. She got there and said, guys, does this have to be 100% captured? The answer was no. Does it have to be 25 years? The answer was no. You know, has Baker Tilly done any studies other than the way it's proposed today to give people options or things to look at? The answer is no. So we paid Baker Tilly all this money to look at one option based on bogus numbers.
Baker Tilly admitted that they didn't have the numbers.
Yeah.
They began to have the numbers to work with. And it was just an illustration, but there wasn't even an option that we didn't form a new TIF district and Toyota would continue on and build their own project themselves. There was an illustration for that. It was an illustration that if we didn't approve it, and Toyota wouldn't do the project. But there wasn't no illustration for that if they did it themselves. And,
Well, the lawyer from Washington asked the question, is the but-for clause referring to we won't be able to move forward with the Toyota project? Or is it but-for we won't be able to move forward with Princeton's water project? And I don't know that he got a great answer. He said, so guys, I think maybe we need to go back and clean up the but-for clause, and he's 100% right.
And the spokesperson for Toyota admitted that Gibson County, whoever that would be, came to Toyota and offered them the TIF district. Toyota did not go to us and ask for a TIF district. But it states in the resolution that the project can't be done without our help, because private industry can't do it.
And help me with this, Larry, since I'm just a simple country boy from Fort Branch, Indiana, so help me understand this. The redevelopment commission itself, how many members is that commission made up of?
5.
So I noticed that the legal counsel for the redevelopment commission kept using the word "we" a lot. So is he a member of the redevelopment commission, or is he legal counsel for the redevelopment commission?
He has told me time and time again that it's not up to him, that he is just the attorney.
Okay, so I understand you correctly. He is the legal counsel for the redevelopment commission, not a member of the redevelopment commission. Is that a correct statement?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
And he has told me that several times.
Okay, no further questions. Thanks, Larry.
Is that all your questions?
Yeah.
If you want to call me anytime, my phone number is 812-664-2465, and my email address is my name, LARRYDMICHEL@gmail.com. If you want to send me the public comments, and so I can turn into the board, I'd be happy to do that. If you don't know how, if you can't figure this riddle out.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, moving on. Did we have anything else on the alley?
I do. I have something on the alley. I went through the statute. You all have to draft a petition. I'm drafting it for you. And we'll have that at the next meeting. I have some more information I need to get from the surveyor. But once we get that petition going, started, then we have to set a hearing on it 30 days later. We have to notice in the newspaper, and then once you vote on it, then we have to have an ordinance as well. It's kind of a process.
All right. More to follow then. New business, notice of award for the 2026 community crossing paving grant. E&B paving is the lowest bidder.
Yes, and so you guys signed a paper for me to sign all these, but I'm just gonna go ahead and have you sign it, and then I will sign the one that we sent off. That way I show that we have board approval on it, so whenever I sign it, I have it. So I need a motion and second to, give notice of award to EMB paving.
I'll make a motion that we award the project to EMB Paving.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Nothing under ordinances, right,
No.
for tonight, so,
What about the executive session?
the executive session, you guys want to look at a date to talk about, water and sewer?
Utilities?
Utilities.
I cannot do Tuesday or Wednesday next week. But I could do Thursday.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, but let me check. Thursday, the
26th.
26th.
Could we possibly go out one more week? My grandson has, practice from 4 to 5, so I have a hard time.
Gotcha.
But it ends, so that's the last week, so
I cannot do it this week.
Well, let's go over the second one.
So that week, Tuesday or Wednesday.
I know, Wednesday, Monday, from Tuesday, March 10th.
What time? Tuesday to March the 10th.
Want to be like 5:30?
Randy, does March the 10th work for you? Tuesday, it's a Tuesday, 5:30?
my office,
Yeah.
Where
town hall.
Okay. Town manager, park bathrooms, anything to talk about?
I switched the project over to Shepherd House 3 to see what kind of improvements we could do. Went out and just got one bid to see if it'd be near our budget, and it's not going to happen. So we'll probably just find another area in the park where we can concentrate and do some fixing.
What you wanted to do at 3 is too expensive, if that's what you're saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
you guys get an estimate.
That's okay, I'm just.
It's several for 70,000.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, I don't need to see that.
The building's not worth that.
So we're gonna find other areas to put what we can into the.
All right, well, let us know what your thoughts are. Bucket truck,
Pardon?
bucket truck, any news on that? Find anything?
I reached out to this company up in Jasper, Rutherford.
Yeah,
They no longer do bucket trucks because of the liability. So he will sell you the cab chassis, and then you have to go take it to Alltech, which the nearest one is in Indianapolis and Elizabethtown, Kentucky. You purchase whatever type of boom you want, and they install it wherever. So the chassis truck is $70,000 by itself, and he said he will spend more than that on the boom to get a brand new out there.
Okay.
The used ones, they're all over the place. One example here is a 2018 Ford. They want $89,000, and it has 126,000 miles, and no telling how many hours.
I noticed there's a lot of them on, even on Facebook Market. Like you said, I mean, they're gonna have
I
some
think it comes
miles.
down to buying a used one is the liability of what you're getting. Also, if it's going to pass the dielectric test, and it's a tough market.
The one that he showed you guys, that Hillsman's have, I can't remember exactly, but it's between $12,000 and $13,000 for what you need it for. I mean, we don't have the money to buy a bucket truck that doesn't get used very often.
Right.
But if you're gonna have to have one to hang Christmas lights or trim a few
Tree, yeah,
limbs or whatever,
Right.
I mean, we're not into the tree trimming business, that's not what our guys are here for, they don't, that's not their expertise. We can do a couple limbs, but, I think if you're wanting one, because the one that we have currently is no good, for sure, we know. It's not safe and, I mean, it's gotta go, but if you're wanting one, granted, it's not the prettiest thing that you ever seen, but we're not gonna be putting miles on it because it's not gonna go out of town. So if you're just using it for the bucket, my recommendation, not that you need my recommendation, but my recommendation would be to go for something like that. But Randy and you guys are gonna have to make that decision.
I have the same opinion, Stacy, and it's the opinion I kept landing on when I was looking at these in Facebook Market. Some of them are really nice. They just have high miles, but they're recently, certified and gone through by whatever agency looks at those hydraulic units and stuff. So I think there's some out there that are really mechanically sound. They're just older. They've got some miles. I think that's the route we go.
I agree with Stacy actually on that.
Do you want to look a little more? Do you want us to assist you in looking for a used one too?
I'm gonna look a little bit more, because I would find anything close, and I
Yeah.
wasn't able to find anything that wasn't 4 hours away.
I know it almost sounds silly, but there's a lot of them on Facebook Market. Like, not very
I
far.
don't do the Facebook stuff.
Yeah,
There are a bunch of them.
so, maybe we can,
Take a look at that. And you can look by whatever avenue you're doing, but there are a lot of them on Facebook. So
we'll just keep after it if you don't mind. Police department. We've got our paper here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wait a minute. Do you not have scrap?
I do have scrap meal
Okay.
truck. We need to talk about scrap meal truck.
Yeah, the one that, the new one replaced, yeah, I heard,
Oh, that, okay, I thought it went with it. Okay.
no. That was the old, it was a water truck, and then Randy took it over and he was driving it, and he doesn't think that we need to even take bids on it because he said it's not good enough to even let anybody drive.
Somebody did you sell it? I just didn't want to be the one selling the whole thing, working on the dash radio. I couldn't even tell you the actual mileage on it. I just don't know.
That's a damn good
You can
thing.
get, I don't know, you might get $800 or $900 out of it, might get more, I don't know.
So the question for the council is, do we put it up for bid or just scrap it? I wonder what you just get for it driving it to one of the salvage yards and, like you said.
I don't even know if you can drive it to the salvage yard.
I feel like you make it to the salvage yard.
I don't think it will.
Just take Chevy off into the portal.
All right, Randy.
Yeah, I mean, I say we try to sell it to the salvage yard.
I'm okay either way.
If it's not worth anything, we just need to get rid of it. Like,
Because it's costing us insurance.
But you
have
kind
to
of
have
gave us two
insurance.
separate things, right? So Stacy says it won't make it to the salvage yard, but you said it would make somebody a good truck. So, like, really, how bad is it?
A reliable vehicle.
I didn't think it ran, Randy.
Well, it doesn't right now.
Okay,
I think it
that's
just-
why I won't make it.
I think it just needs battery in it, and there might be other issues, but it will run. I mean, it's got
Take it to the
4.6.
salvage yard.
I mean, it's a good little motor, but it's just, what's the longevity?
Right.
Probably still places that will come get it, give it $200 for it.
I mean, we can do the open bid too. I mean, that's not that hard to do those, right?
It's an as-is sale.
We sold one truck one time for $5. Little red S10? Yeah, we sold a red S10 for $5. Huh? We did sell an red S10, but it probably wasn't to you.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I mean, if it's easier to put it up for auction and safer to not have to drive it someplace, you just put it up for auction. If it doesn't sell, then we can try to drive
He
it
means
down.
up for bid, not auction.
Yeah, up for bid. Bid auction.
Well, you guys gotta make a decision. What do you want us to do? The decision's all yours.
They would try to put it up for bid. That
Okay.
way, maybe someone will just take care of it, drive it home.
So do we wanna take
Put it
bids
on.
for next month or for April?
Whatever your schedule looks like. then that's-
Huh, April,
Next month.
next month, or March?
Randy, can you get it to the town hall parking lot for people to look at
Push it forward. Whatever you do, take it, drop the money, take it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can get that.
You can put a Rural King battery in it, right?
It's got a battery in it.
it? And when it sits up there, do you normally put like a sign on it that's accepting bids for this, closed bids? and
We haven't.
As is?
We haven't, but we could.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's a good idea.
And it says it's open, like when the bids open and when they close.
We'll put it in the paper too.
Yeah, a lot of people don't do the paper. You put it on Facebook?
Yep.
Randy will miss it on Facebook. What do you look at, Randy?
You don't have Facebook.
Nothing? If we had to tell you something, how would we tell you? If we didn't have your phone number.
You'd have to email it.
You better than do that.
You gotta go, hey, Rena.
You better call him.
Yeah, because sometimes you don't respond.
Okay, let's go backwards.
Communication is called. I mean, it was the first form of communication.
Yeah.
He's backwooded as all can get.
Everything's going okay.
Okay, let's go backwards a little bit.
Okay.
Ordinance on sidewalks and trees, that's something else we wanted to talk about. Kind of skipped it, so. Ordinance on
I
sidewalks
thought it
and
was
trees.
grayed out, so
Me too, I can't hardly read
I went
it.
Sorry.
past
I probably did it on mine and not yours, so.
Okay,
What's going on with the ordinance for sidewalks and trees? What's come up?
Is it our property to maintain the right of way with trees that need to be trimmed, cut down? All that good stuff.
We're getting people that are buying properties and then there is a tree in between the sidewalk and the, like, there's a sidewalk and then there's the grassy area and then there's the road. And
Yeah.
There's been tons of trees that are
This has
somehow come up,
this has
yes,
come up before.
yes. And they think it's our responsibility because it's between the sidewalk and the street. It's never been. I mean, the town has not, as far as I know, hasn't gone out and
I thought,
planted trees.
I thought we figured out last time that it fell in the right way, that it's our problem.
That's what we talked about the last time. It's kind of like if someone's trees grows over your property, you're responsible for cutting what's on your property.
Didn't we just take one down that was in that area over here?
Y'all are gonna
on
have-
that street?
Yeah, we have to do that.
Spend a lot of money on trees then.
I know.
So do we need to put forth a program where we start plucking these trees out periodically, so we're not going back to the same tree and trimming them up, maintaining them?
If it's in that right away, we can take it down.
Yeah, I think they're not supposed to plant trees and stuff in a
I don't know how they, but
It's been-
it happens.
It's been like that for,
Between the sidewalk and the road, I don't know how it happens, but.
You do have an ordinance that you passed several years ago, you no one any longer plant.
yeah, that was, not long after I was here. So it's been in the last 10, 15 years.
There is, because we've looked at it, there is that ordinance.
So what happens when we have to start mowing them right away?
It's, well, I mean, it's similar to anybody who doesn't know their property. They're paying their taxes in the middle of the street, whatever.
So if somebody doesn't mow the grassy area between the sidewalk and the road, that's us.
But
Yeah.
the right of way, go ahead.
If it's a hazard, or if it's a threat to public health, like anybody's lot, they don't mow. You got the strip, they decide not to mow, but they don't want to anymore. It's going to obstruct anybody's view, and no, it's like the rest of the lot.
But the right of way gives you a right to get on the property.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you have to take care of the property. If you look at the difference between the right of way and an easement, it's two different things. So a right of way gives you the right to get on the property, doesn't necessarily mean you have to take care of the property.
But we also have an ordinance where people can't plant things in it, so we're talking that on both sides.
Well, that's because back then, people were planting bushes and stuff like that, right, in the right of way, and it was causing problems, and so the only way to keep them from doing that was to adopt that ordinance, and that ordinance was adopted. They also have one that you can't put basketball goals in the right of way either. But there's a lot of them,
Well, then maybe we can handle
so.
I don't know the answer, but I know it's a legal issue and,
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I'll look at it again, but I think it's our responsibility, but if I find something that says it's not, we can't dictate what people do and don't put in it and not be responsible for it. That's my opinion, but I'll look at it again.
You asked Jason Stemmer how he handles it.
Yeah, I can ask, but
You know, there's things that you don't think that may not necessarily be right, but I always thought, you know, between the sidewalk and the road, we had to take care of it. They decide not to mow it, we gotta mow it. I felt like people mow it, really, when they mow it, it's out of the kindness of their heart because they want their property to look nice, not because they have to. That's what I always thought, and I could be wrong.
If it goes that way and you get 9/10 of the people to say that's not my yard, we're going to be buying a lot more lawnmowers and get some more people.
Well, I understand. I mean, most people though, 9 out of 10 people want to mow that just because they feel like it looks like it's part of their property. Even though it's outside of the sidewalk and it's,
So how do we know it's not part of the car?
we don't, unless you look at the map.
Well, don't you still, isn't there some, doesn't your property actually go out to the middle of the road sometimes? Yeah.
That's, yeah, well, depends on whether the middle of the road is where the, you know, in the distance back, well, you don't know if that property goes to the middle of the road.
I thought our right of
Street,
way
not all
was
the
the road
streets.
so many feet.
Yeah, not all the streets are laid out that way. Some of them have been just cut through.
I mean, is it an individual
Not actual
property
streets.
plat map decision? I don't know.
There's so many people nowadays that live there that don't take care of their properties. And we send out more letters than the people not taking care of their properties, because they don't.
It's not the old 4 branch
I
anymore.
know,
It's not.
but I don't know that, I just don't wanna argue with a homeowner over the area between the sidewalk and the street and end up being wrong legally. I mean, we can feel a certain way, but that doesn't mean we're right legally.
But when I first came here, we didn't do anything with trees. If it was dead and it was in the right of way, then we would address it. But if it wasn't dead and people just wanted it trimmed, we didn't do that.
Right.
Am I correct, Fred?
Oh, yeah.
I just remember Dennis.
That was the policy.
Yeah.
Whether or not that was.
Whether it was in writing somewhere or
Yeah.
legally correct.
And that's
Or
why
an
we were
ordinance.
saying, we need an ordinance that
Maybe you're
states,
right, yeah.
you know, what goes on with trees or even sidewalks. I mean,
Probably state statute.
According to Tim Hunt, HWC engineer, he said there is no way in the world that that tree is any way, shape, or form part of the path, just because it's in the right of way. And we also maintain the right of way, being,
According to who did you say?
HWC engineer.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but, we need to have something written down or.
Yeah, if it's,
Do we not have an ordinance about maintaining sidewalks, removing snow and vegetation from sidewalks and things like that? Do we have anything like that?
Sidewalks, homeowners supposed to split half the cost, and they're supposed to maintain their own
But
sidewalk.
do we have an ordinance saying that?
Yes.
But nothing about snow removal. Is there something about snow removal that we just said?
maybe the ordinance about planning stuff in there could say something about maintenance of stuff in there as well. I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it could.
It doesn't, not that particular one, because it just says no planting of any vegetation in the right of way.
Don't get me wrong, I'm on your side. I just don't want to say it and say, well, that's because what we've always said makes it right.
Right.
We either need an ordinance or legal.
Our statute that matches up on.
Oh,
What's the difference between a right of way thing?
Or different.
All the bridges that's in that right of way, they call us the town, if we were taking down that road in New York. Taking down the right of way, it's been like, meaning that, leaving it.
Yeah, I mean, they planted
It's not
those,
just, it's just not our stuff that's in that right of way, it's other.
Yeah.
utilities.
they planted those trees, or whoever lived there before planted those trees. And just because they're in the right of way does not mean that we have to take them down.
I'll figure it out.
All right, let's keep going.
Our water department.
Have you heard any more on the Strain Street water tank?
No, I have not.
Well, that's what you expect.
Are we waiting on the tube repair still, or?
Yeah. They had to do the inspection, which expected, wait and see what they say about the inspection, just to see what we can do about repairing anything else. Rather than, I'd rather have, if there's any other issues that need to be repaired, I'd rather see what all they are. and then Go out all at once, or separate it out, or after, or whatever, and not result in the inspection, yeah.
I'm gonna put it out here publicly that they have not been a good company to work with.
No.
They're always separated out, and, you know.
Pittsburgh tank, I don't think we need to continue this.
They painted a tank on Spring Street, and replaced the ladder, and then they wouldn't inspect it until the ladder was replaced. They didn't replace the ladder until after they painted it. The paint crew could go out and
Right.
paint it, but the inspection crew was not. So,
Then we fixed the ladder, and that got them so high, then they couldn't go up the tube. Now
they supposedly went up, they had to go all the way up through there to
Okay.
paint the hatch.
oh,
The hatch was not open somewhere or another, or not blown up. They closed it. So it came back down after they ran the lot through the thing.
Yeah, we're just waiting on the results.
I'm going to email them next week and, because I gave them a not so nice email, not too long ago.
Yeah.
And told them that, if this is the kind of service they're gonna provide, they will not be getting any more work from us. And then they decided to respond, and here we are again, lull, and haven't gotten anything from them, so I guess I'll send another email that'll
Okay.
perk them up a little bit again.
I don't know if you guys saw the emails with Center
I
Point.
have it right here.
I don't know if you've got that on here.
I do not,
But
but we can talk about it in
we're
the,
gonna have to schedule a meeting with them too. It looks like they want to talk to us in person about what we want to do. And before now and whenever we schedule that, we need to think about if we, I think we do want to continue to do some sort of decoration somewhere, but we need to know where. We need to agree on where we want to do that. I don't think anybody thinks we ought to do it in the old uptown area anymore.
can I give my opinion?
Yeah, please. But we
Always have one.
I mean, do we want to do it all the way up to that locust? Do we want to go a different way? Do we want to do it up here? We want to, I mean, up here, up by the office.
I think the way I see it, and you all may see it differently, but I feel like more of our downtown area has moved more towards where, on Hillcrest, you know, the doctor's office, the banks, the, fast break, the school. I feel like that's more,
The junkyard.
that's our commercial area now. There's not a whole lot that happens, you know, in this area anymore, unfortunately. But, I feel like from Locust Street to Fast Break in the school, I feel like that's more of
I agree with that.
our area that, I mean, people's gonna go all that area, they're gonna go there to pay their bills, they're gonna go to the doctor's office, they're gonna go get gas, they're gonna take their kids to school. It's all, you know,
Okay,
in that
I
area of
agree,
town.
but let's say we identify some poles downhill crest, going, practically from the school and head north. Do we go to Locust and then turn and continue, go down Locust any length, or only do we give up on Locust?
I actually think all the way down Locust Street would be nice if you're gonna do it. All the way down,
All the way to Locust or all the way down Locust?
all the way down Locust Street.
I don't know how many that we have, how far we can go. I know we did all up and down here.
So right now, we're talking about the getting the poles to where they're able to get decorations on.
Right.
So that's a different discussion than how many decorations do we have, right? So let's see what pole we want,
Yes.
and then after that, we can work towards getting the decorations for all. You guys agree?
And I think we need to do, that's where I was going, Sandy, is that we need to have the poles identified before we meet with those folks, because they may want to go out and take a look while they're here. And we can say, well, these are the poles we were thinking, and see what they say.
Is there a cost for them to installing?
We don't know anything yet.
I hadn't seen that in any of the emails, but
We
I don't
went-
know if I missed it.
I went back and forth with them. I finally got a lady who was willing to have a discussion about it, and they act like they don't want to talk about anything, they want to come here. So, maybe because they don't want anything in writing, I don't know, but,
I think that, I don't know what Bob thinks, but I feel like you guys could meet, you don't have to have an official, executive session or a town council meeting. I'm okay sitting it out. You guys want to handle it whenever they're available and you're available.
And then just
You
present
forget
it in the next meeting or whatever, this is kind of.
I would be interested in knowing what poles you guys think. I mean, I'll drive out with you or whatever, and
Yeah.
take a look. And then, once we identify the poles, you guys can handle the meeting, or if there's just one of us there, it's not a quorum or whatever.
You've been in the one in talks with them, so
Yeah,
you should probably,
I'll meet.
So I make a motion, we let Scotty and Randy and Stacy deal with the electric pole situation.
Second.
All those, oh, you say, hey, I do have one thing. I do have one thing, that pole that's closest to the school is leaning a lot. Across the street from my house, it's
Did you run into
like, no, it's been that way for a while, but I see it when I walk my dog.
This will be a good time to ask.
Yeah,
them
so
about it.
that's why I just want to point it out. I want to tell you because you guys are going to meet with him.
oh, it's a snap one. Oh.
Yes, it's a street light pole.
yeah,
I'll make a motion that us three meet with those guys.
They already weirded it.
We have a motion and a second already.
You just have to-
She did it, but, okay, then I'll second.
Motion carried.
The motion carries, yeah.
All right. Come on, Scotty, let's go.
All right,
Need to do an amendment to the salary ordinance.
the state does not have an election, but the town of Branch does.
Who's the town of Fort Branch held election?
They're holding the election here. So we got that, I sent you guys that,
About
agreement.
About trading money. and stuff.
Yeah. And so whenever I did the ordinance, I did it by the state holidays. Well, we have an election here in Fort Branch. So the state doesn't have one for November, but we do. So
What's the?
it's gonna be for
County
sheriff and,
council.
the county. Yeah. So, and it's here. So.
Did they agree to,
Doing wash.
Actually, they're going to, after this May election, they're gonna be coming to us and trying to see about changing our elections to where we do the elections at the same time as the county or with the presidential election. So it's gonna affect our terms. And I don't wanna speak out for them because I wasn't exactly sure what they're talking about yet, so, but she's gonna come here. And so something to think about. We'll either do a 2-year term or a longer term. I don't know, I don't.
For one time to get.
Yes,
to get
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but I just wanted to make sure that you were okay with me doing an amendment to the salary ordinance, and if you are, I will get that ready for next meeting. It's not until November, so it's not something that we're in a quick hurry for, but I just wanted to let you know.
Do you want me to make a motion for that?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, just, do you want me to
Yeah.
do this? And I'm not gonna waste my time if you don't want me to do it.
Yeah, I think
But-
we should go ahead and modify.
Okay,
it.
I'll get it ready for next month. And then, the next thing is the BSNA project kickoff begins on, April the 3rd. And so, and then our entire staff is going to be in training the week of 6/22 to 6/25 to learn the system. So they said we need to close that week, so we'll all be at work still, but we have to, it's gonna be a remote training to where we're gonna see the system and all the different things. So whenever they come to us, in July, I think I sent this to you guys, July 8th will be the last day that we can get into Keystone, and they're going to do their final extraction, so we won't be able to get into Keystone. And then on the 13th, they're gonna be on site, and we're gonna go live that day. And then we'll be, here on site, giving us on-site training from, the 13th through the 23rd. So,
I had a concern about the office being closed for a week. If someone needs new water service or needs to get turned off, can we
Well,
follow that?
we will still be there our normal hours, but from 9 to 4, we're gonna be in training. So we'll get phone calls like from 7 to 9, and then we're there from 4 to 5, and on Wednesdays, we're there from 4 to 6. So we can still get phone calls and make work
As long as we
orders.
still can do things.
Yeah, we'll still be there, it's just, it's kinda hard to do training when you have to stop and deal with customers, so.
Yeah, I understand.
So
I just didn't want it to be.
yeah, no, we'll still be there full time and be able to check phone calls and stuff before and after class. So. And then the guys will be there, so if we need to do a work order, we can still process work orders and get things that we need to get done.
Did we need to talk about this Bobcat quote?
Oh, what we did, Randy just gave that to me, at the end of, the day here today. You guys had talked to him about that. And so, that's just a quote that he talked about. Yeah, I don't mean to speak for you, you go ahead.
I had a class about that in the meeting. It's just kind of an idea, without going out and getting three quotes of what we're kind of looking for spending wise, because you didn't appropriate for any or anything like that. So what kind of process we're gonna get on just one machine, then we'll go back and compare them to the.
I thought we had already approved the purchase of a Bobcat.
No, that was a mini.
That was for the mini.
This is for a skid steer.
So this
Oh, I
is
got
just for a new skid steer.
And speaking, on finances, I went with the, more expensive one, just so I knew that we would have funds, not that you have to go with that one, but.
Right.
And then he said we would get $17,500 in trade-in for the current skid steer that we have and the tractor, John Deere tractor, is that correct?
So two pieces of equipment, we would trade off for 17,500.
So then I'm just going with a higher amount, just so you would just have to know if we've had it or not. So that would bring you down to $47,309.47. I did appropriate for an MVH vehicle because I thought we were going to do that 3-year lease, and so that's $16,500. And he said that you would use it for water, sewer, and street. You'd use it all over the place. So if you split that between 3, just by these numbers that we have here, you may have to get more, quotes, but just going off of this, it'd be like $15,769.82 out of each one to get to that 47. It'd be less, of course, if you decide to go with a cheaper one, or if you got another quote and it would be less, it would be different, but that's just going off these.
I got it.
These
So we
numbers.
kind of have a ballpark here.
Yeah.
For budgetary purposes.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for that, Ernie.
And if you wanted to get more quotes, you can move forward with more quotes. But if you just want to wait and take your time to look over what you got there,
So the minis, the Bobcat, and this skid steer's a Bobcat, they're both coming from the outside in Washington. And, are they gonna, we'll buy two pieces of equipment, is that gonna go in our favor? You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably not.
Right now.
Just because it is a, government entity, you're getting whatever Bobcat offers.
Do you,
It's not necessarily coming from the dealership.
do you see any substantial, advantages for the T66 over the T64? I mean, I understand there's horsepower advantages.
They're both the same size. It's just a horsepower difference.
Yeah.
And it has the same options. They're hand controls, no foot controls. We've got backed up here, our camera, sorry. It's the same frame. Same dimensions.
So 6 more horsepower, touch to 2,000 or 3,000. I don't know. Unless you see a reason to go with the higher horsepower, I would be in favor of getting the T64.
The only reason I would probably look at the higher horsepower is because we're going to get rid of the backhoe and capability of picking up a little bit more maybe.
$2,000, I just go for a more expensive.
Would you agree with that? All right, I'll make a motion we go with the T66.
You don't want me to look for more quotes?
I just feel like we're gonna be dealing with this Bobcat guy out of Washington, both pieces of equipment, same maintenance, same repair, same. Bobcat's awesome. I think I'm good with.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I have one more thing.
Okay.
I got an email that's been going around, and we've been getting a lot of requests for, our information, for the,
Go ahead.
And so I'm looking for public records, they're looking for public records, and, they're using them for commercial purposes. And so they have sent out an ordinance, and I copied theirs, word for word and changed it. You guys have a copy of this on your, I gave you all a copy of it.
Yeah.
And it's not, yeah, it's not something I'm wanting to just approve tonight, so I just wanted to introduce it to you. Read it over, not something you have to do tonight, but read it over, look it over and see what you think. It just protects
This is
the
to
town.
protect us from these folks who are doing this kind of.
Yes. Yeah, so take the time to read it. It's not something that we have to do tonight, but, everybody's been getting them, all of our treasurers, and it's taking a lot of time and effort to get these things, and all we're trying to do is sell our information.
Right.
And so, and that's what a lot of the communities and several of the communities in the emails have stated that they have, all adopted that same ordinance. So review it, and I'll bring it back to next meeting.
Okay. Thanks for putting that together. All right. Miscellaneous, any closing statements, any items we missed? Anybody have anything? All right.
The ditch work in the county did looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it does actually. It's big. It's a lot bigger than it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Okay, next meeting's on Thursday.
You're gonna talk about that?
That's Wednesday. Is that right?
Thursday, right? It says Wednesday on the agenda. It's
What?
Thursday, right? Next meeting.
Oh, sorry. Well, mine says Thursday, but yours probably does not, so.
So the next monthly meeting will be Thursday, March
It's still the
19th,
March 19th.
2026 at 5:30, right here at the Senior Community Center in Fort Branch, Indiana. I need a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting.
6:40.
I'll make it, go ahead.
Your turn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.